Namaste, dear seekers. Welcome to the channel where we explore stories and wisdom from ancient Indian literatures and texts. Today we delve deep into the story of the earnest seeker Upakosala from Chandogya Upanishad. In ancient India, during the age of the Upanishads, a young brahmachari, celibate student, named Upakosala embarked on a profound spiritual journey. He was the devoted son of a sage named Kamla. For 12 years Upakosala lived with the sage Satyakāma as his guru's student, faithfully tending his sacred fires and studying the Vedas. When those 12 years were done, Satyakāma released all the other disciples but refused to let Upakosala leave. Alone and uncertain, Upakosala felt a deep unease. When Satyakāma's wife pleaded him to eat food, he confessed, "I am full of desires which pull me in many directions. I am like one with many ailments, I will not eat." Satyakāma's wife pleaded with her husband, saying the young man had served well and needed to return home. But Satyakāma remained silent and then departed on a journey without taking Upakosala along. Upakosala was heartbroken, so distressed, that he could barely eat despite his teacher's wife's care. In the silence of the hermitage, he sunk into deep sorrow and introspection, feeling both humbled and impatient for true knowledge. One evening, as Upakosala sat before the altar fires, a wondrous thing occurred. The three sacred fires began to speak among themselves. They noticed how emaciated Upakosala had become from his austerities. "This brahmachari has served us so faithfully and suffered much," they said. "We must teach him." Stepping into his awareness, the fires said to Upakosala, "Life, prana, is Brahman, bliss, ka, is Brahman, space, ka, is Brahman." This was the first revelation. Life is divine, happiness is divine, the sky is divine. Upakosala bowed his head. He understood the first truth, prana is Brahman, life itself is sacred. But he hesitated at the rest. "I know that prana, life force, is Brahman," he replied earnestly. "But that bliss, ka, and space, ka, are Brahman, I do not know." The fires gently explained, "What is ka? What is ka? Take them together, that which is ka is also ka, and that which is ka is also ka." In this teaching, ka signifies supreme bliss, and ka signifies the boundless space of the heart. Their meaning is Brahman. Through this cryptic reply, they taught Upakosala that both joy and the inner space contain Brahman. In Upanishads philosophy, Akash, space, often symbolize the transcendental self, Atman, within us, and Kama, joy, its pure bliss. In saying ka is ka and ka is ka, the fires hinted that Brahman, the Absolute, is experienced as both bliss and inner space. In Upakosala's heart, a subtle shift began. He realized that true learning had come not from his austerities or his guru, but from the cosmic flames themselves. The teaching deepened. Each sacred fire now took its turn to reveal the cosmic unity of Brahman. First the Garhaptya fire, householder's fire, spoke, "Earth, fire, food, and the sun, these are my body. The person seen in the solar orb is me. I am he." Then the Dakshinagni, southern fire, taught, "Water, the directions, the stars, and the moon, these are my body. The person seen in the moon is me. I am he." Next, the Avaniya fire, offertorial fire, declared, "Prana, life breath, Akash, space, heaven, and lightning, these are my body. The person seen in the lightning is me. I am he." Together, these teachings formed a profound prospect. Each line of nature became sacred. The microcosm and the macrocosm were one. In that moment, Upakosala's perception was transformed. The mundane fires and elements surrounding him took on divine radiance. The sacred fire, once an ordinary sacrificial flame, now assumed a new aspect and became the Lord himself. In his vision, the earth was transformed, life was transformed. The sun, the moon, the stars, the lightning, everything was transformed and defied. He beheld Brahman everywhere, in every rock, every breath, every spark of lightning. It was the supreme enlightenment, the true nature of all things was revealed to him. In due time, Satyakāma returned home. He saw Upakosala glowing with realization. His face shone with the serenity of one who had touched the Absolute. The teacher was astonished. "My son," Satyakāma said, "your face shines like one who knows Brahman. Who has taught you?" Upakosala replied simply, "Not a man, but beings other than men, have taught me." This was his humble way of saying the fires and the cosmic forces had been his teacher. Satyakāma smiled warmly. "My son, what you have learned is true. And hear now the final truth that I teach. To him who knows this, no evil shall cling, even as drops of water cling not to the lotus leaf. The self which glows in the depths of your eyes, that is Brahman, your own Atman. He is the beautiful one, the luminous one. Throughout all the worlds, forever and ever, he shines." With this, the circle of teaching was complete. Upakosala had learned directly from the fire, the gods, and the Guru affirmed his insight. In the term of the Upanishads, he realized, Tat Tvam Asi, that thou art, the individual soul, Atman, and the ultimate reality, Brahman, are one. The story of Upakosala from Chandogya Upanishad carries deep philosophical meaning. It underscores a central theme: Brahman is immanent in all things, from the life breath, prana, to the vast cosmos. Hard austerities are not the path to liberation, rather, wisdom comes from perceiving the divine unity behind the world. The fires explicitly tell us that the means to Brahman is not through depressing, hard penance but through heartfelt knowledge. Upakosala's journey also illustrates total transformation of perception. What was ordinary became extraordinary when seen through spiritual insight. His description of being filled with desires contrasts with his later realization that Brahman alone shines. The contrast is stark. He went from saying, "My heart is impure with desires," to seeing, "The self is the beautiful, the luminous one." As the fires declared, life is Brahman, joy is Brahman. In other words, the divine is life itself and the bliss of the heart. Upakosala learns that the daily rituals he performed, tending fires, reciting mantras, are symbols. The real worship is seeing Brahman in everything. As you reflect on Upakosala's story, imagine the spark of understanding that can light your own heart. Let the fires of wisdom awaken you to the unity of all existence. If you like this video, share it with your loved ones who are on the path of seeking. Remember, the little space within the heart is as great as the vast universe. Namaste.